Leo Perez. I don't quite understand OT7. If you're auditing yourself, how do you pass to the next level? Can someone just say, okay, I'm ready, I passed OT7? Who tells them that they are ready or not? Okay, Leo, so you have asked about something that is a really big topic in Scientology, and that is the area of certifications and awards or validation of levels or achievements or courses that are completed. And on the how I'm going to break this down here to answer this question is I'm going to talk in a broad sense about how people finish services, because OT7 is really no different from almost every other service in Scientology and how it is completed. And the way you finish services in Scientology is you attest to having completed them and gotten the rewards and gains and abilities that you are saying that you are basically pledging or attesting to the fact that this is true. And these apply to all Scientology services, courses as well as auditing services. Each course has an ability gained or a purpose or a reason why you're doing it, and there's a sort of an end result you're supposed to get from it. The same applies for all Scientology auditing services. These are listed for the major services on the Bridge to Total Freedom, Scientology's big chart that lists out all its major services. And it gives an end result for each of these services. For the auditor training levels, for example, you have the ability to audit the materials covered on, that auditing course. So on level 0, you learn, or class 0 as a class 0 auditor, the ability gained is the ability to audit class 0 processes. Kind of no-brainer on that one, right? But over on grade 0, when you do the actual auditing grade, in other words, you're audited on communication processes, the end result of that grade is the ability to communicate comfortably with anyone on any subject. Or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. So grade 1 deals with problems. So when you're audited on grade 1, you're going to be addressing problems and all kinds of different aspects of problems in your life. The end result of grade 1 is the ability to spot the source of problems and thereby make them vanish. Yeah, right. Well, people buy into this, get into this mindset where they now feel that they are the be-all, end-all of communication or problems or the various other things that are addressed in auditing. And so they attest to these levels. They get through a certain number of processes. They get through, certain, like, okay, on grade 1, let's say you're audited and audited and audited on problems. And the way the grades run is you're audited on your own problems you've made for yourself, problems others have given to you, problems you've given to others, and problems that other people have had with other people. These are called the flows. There's 4 of them. To self, self to others, others to self, and others to others, right? So you're audited on these processes that address problems from all these different flows. So at the end of it, you're supposed to be comfortable with spotting problems on all these different flows and being able to make it all go away. And during the course of the auditing, you will say things that might be interpreted or could be interpreted as you feeling like you've achieved these kind of abilities or gains. And so the case supervisor, and if you don't know what that is, well, I've talked extensively about auditing and case supervision and how the case supervisor oversees the progress of auditing. That's the case supervisor's job, is to spot indications that a person might have completed the level that they're on, and then send them over to the qualifications division where they do the attest. And they go on a meter, you pick up the cans, and there's a person, not an auditor, it's an examiner. And the examiner will put a little card down, a 3x5 card down in front of you, and you're holding the cans, and the person will say, would you like to attest to having completed, to having achieved the gains of this level, or to these abilities gained, and the abilities are written on the card, like the ones I said, ability to communicate comfortably with anyone on any subject or whatever. Some of the abilities are confidential. When you get to the OT levels and you're doing your attest, then the little card they're going to put in front of you is going to be something that you can't tell other people you're attesting to. But for the most part, we all know what the abilities gained are on all the different levels. So you attest to that, and that's you saying, I got it. I'm done. I'm satisfied with these results. And the examiner will then ask you, would you like to write a success story? And if you don't want to write a success story, that's going to be a bad indicator. And it's going to show that you didn't really get the ability gain because you're not happy and cheerful and wanting to write a success story. So then you'll go to an auditing session. You'll get all fixed up until you're happy and want to write a success story. So the two parts of the attestation cycle, or attesting to completing something in Scientology, are getting on the cans and saying, yes, I have achieved that, and then writing a success story. So that's basically how it works for OT7, just like it works for any other level. A person solo audits, they keep worksheets of their own that go into a solo folder. On the OT levels, and I'm going to assume you guys know what I'm talking about with this, right? OT, the Xenu stuff, and all of that. OT 1, 2, and 3 are solo audited. OT 4 and 5 are delivered by an auditor. OT 6 is a course, and OT 7 is solo audited, and so is OT 8. So most of it is being you sitting in a room by yourself with a meter telepathically addressing your body thetans and that sort of thing. You're keeping worksheets, including writing down realizations you're having or thoughts that are occurring to you during the course of the auditing. And all of that goes into a folder too, but it's not your regular PC folder. It's your solo auditing folders, which you have access to. During the course of your auditing in Scientology, you will never have access to your regular PC folders. Even once you're on the solo levels and you're solo auditing, you still don't ever get to look inside those regular PC folders. That's where all the case notes and CS instructions and reports and all kinds of stuff are in there. On your OT levels, you have a solo folder, and so that you do have full access to, but the only thing that's in those folders are your own worksheets and the reply coming to you from the case supervisor telling you what your next steps are for your next session. So so you have two sets of folders, right? The CS has your regular folders, but he's also got when you're on the OT levels, he's getting your solo folder, and that's all he really needs for the most part. And he looks and he goes through the worksheets and he sees what the meter was doing and he sees what you're saying and writing. And there might be indications during the course of your auditing that you have reached the EP, the end phenomena, the end result of the auditing level that you're on. Whatever it is that you're supposed to say or do at OT7 or OT3 or 5 or whatever, I don't know what necessarily the confidential abilities are that the case supervisor is looking for, but whatever they are, once he starts seeing indications of them in your worksheets, he might even ask you questions about some of what you've written down, because he might want to clarify some of your statements. Maybe you actually hit the EP 3 sessions ago, and now it's kind of coming to light that this is a thing. So anyway, by hook or by crook, the CS is the one who determines whether you've reached the end phenomena, and when you have, this case supervisor is the one who determines that you are now done. It's not up to you to say that you are or are not done with a level in Scientology. If the case supervisor thinks you're done and says, hey, look, you've got the end result here, and sends you to a test, and you show up there going, they put the little card in front of you, and you go, no, not at all. I don't think that. Then it's just back to the level, and you're going to get more auditing, right? If you do feel, and like I mentioned before, if you do feel like you've achieved that result, but you don't want to write a success story, you're not happy about it, they're going to want to fix that. And that's basically what I just described here is how every single action in Scientology is completed. Whether it's a course or an auditing service. So, hope that helps clarify some things, Leo.